What up, y'all? This is Mike and Slim of 112 ATL's Finest, checking out my boy, your boy, David Duane. Chill.
Yes, sir. 112 forever, baby.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into On Air with your one and only rock star on the mic. In the place to be, David Duane. Yes, yes. We got my brothers, 112. Now, y'all should know 112 brought you the hits Cupid, Only You. Oh, my goodness. So many of them already know. But guess what? They're back. Slim and Mike is with us. What's going on, guys? How y'all feeling today?
We're good, little bro. How you doing, man?
Good. So great to actually have the both of you instead of doing separate interviews like we've done in the past. So it's really great to see you both right now.
Yeah, man. A lot of people don't realize, man, like we go back a long ways, you and I. So, it's like it's really good to finally, do one with my brother Slim as well, man, like you said. So, we're excited, man. We're ready to rock and roll, bro.
So this brand new EP, first of all, I want to say the music that you guys have been putting out now as a duo has been absolutely incredible. Still keeping that nostalgic 90s, early 2000s sound, just going into the studio and crafting, this EP, because you guys took your time. Like you weren't rushing to put out an album. You weren't rushing to put out an EP. You started with Tonight as the first record. How was that feeling, just being able to infuse the sound of today and the 90s for you?
Well, it wasn't a easy process, I'll tell you that much, because we're stuck in our ways. Being from the late '90s, early 2000s, we got a certain way that we operate, man, and it was actually a learning curve. You know what I mean? Because R&B is done way differently than what we're accustomed to. We're accustomed to stacking vocals, not accustomed to using auto tune so much, and these are things, man, that are basically commonplace now. You know what I mean? With today's R&B. And so we had to adjust and evolve and adapt to, the situation or whatever, man. But, us being the musicians that we are, it was a learning curve, but it wasn't that much of a learning curve. And it didn't take long for us to, figure it out. And Slim actually does a lot of demos and sing a lot of hooks and collaborate with a lot of newer artists as well. So he was more accustomed to it. So I would say really for me, it was more of a learning curve because he was already, in the mix of doing it or whatever, man. But once we figured out what our sound was, man, the process was easy, man. Tonight was that experimental record that we threw out, and we just wanted to see, what the reaction was going to be like, because, with the two guys leaving, we were like, bro, listen, we got to do something aggressive. We got to do something like, how BBD left for New Edition. You know what I mean? It did a whole different sound. Like it was kind of familiar of New Edition, but at the same time, they were raunchier. They were more in your face. It was, it was that kind of sound or whatever. So we felt like it was necessary for us to create a sound that was familiar to the people, but at the same time, we weren't trying to emulate something that we did 20 years ago. So that's what the whole project was about. We took our time, like you said, we took our time with this project. And a lot of people were like, bro, y'all taking too much time. But really, we wanted to make sure, because like when you put an EP out, most artists, when they put an EP out, it's records that they've thrown away, didn't make the album, and it was just like, I'm just doing something just for the sake of doing it. 112 don't believe in that. We believe in if we're gonna take the time out to give y'all some music, then it's gonna be basically a mini album. You know what I mean? It's gonna be what we would do, the process that because we only know one speed, bro, and that's straight ahead. So we don't understand all this, just give them a throwaway song or something like that. No, because at the end of the day, that song and that music is representing rather 112 and our sound and our legacy. So with this EP, we wanted to take our time and make sure that we did it right. And that's what, this new EP, 112 Forever, Slim and Mike, is really about, man. I'm really excited about this project. My hope is that we do an album later on in the year, because a lot of these records, man, it's like, bro,
my fingers.
I see you, bro. I see you, man. Like there's nothing really stopping us from doing an album with us, man. So it's just a matter of if it makes sense financially to do, if the people are really receptive of the music, because that's the funny thing about your fan base. They tell you they want music, then you get it, then they act like they don't know that it's out. So that is crazy, man. But this EP is amazing, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Yeah, these tracks are really incredible. And Spend It All on You is the latest single, but you guys have another single that fans will be able to hear as well too, for us. And I love the sound of that that video, it literally gives me that classic bad boy sound, and it's bad boy for life for us every day. The verses. So if we can just go ahead and talk about the verses celebration and everything that was, previewing new music and just seeing the great response that you guys get. Slim, like how was that to see that fans were really looking forward to this battle, and they were just caught off guard because they really were. They were like, Jagged 112. Wait, what?
Right.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's crazy? That we went through, like when we got us, when we were trying to do our thing or whatever at first, it was like, for some reason we had to do a little reminding of, what I'm saying, of like of what 112 has done in the music industry, because to my surprise, there was a lot of negative reaction, what I'm saying, thinking that I guess we could not do it for some kind of way, or maybe they weren't paying attention to the actual analytics about how many records sold, or how many actual hits, what I'm saying, 112 has versus any other group for that matter.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it was just it was a reflection of reminding people, what I'm saying. So that being said, blessings for the Lord, and blessings for just from God that everything happened the way it did. You know what I'm saying? We actually won, and but for us, it was more of two groups that knew each other, and we grew up with each other, go back before deals, before everything, and you know what I mean. And we all had the same common goal to be the best. So but big shouts out to Billboard, Revolt, and Versus for actually keeping score, and you know what I mean. And they all agreed, without a shadow of a doubt, that we won. But but it was very fun. It was very, very fun, and it just reminded everybody that knew about 112, and maybe they just needed reminding. And we were an introduction to a lot of fans that were introduced to 112. You know what I mean? And we definitely felt it in our catalog as far as all of the downloading and the stream. So big shouts out, and just big shout out to Versus for giving us that platform to allow 112 to remind people.
Before we even got started, I was talking to Mike just about the catalog, as well as you had mentioned. The catalog with y'all individually and then as a whole is incredible. So just reminding people was just something that's necessary. And Mike, if you can chime in on that too, because I know we were talking about just the importance of that and just keeping the legacy alive, because even though it's just two of y'all, the sound is still the same if people actually were really listening.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And a lot of people didn't realize, and it really is a revolution, like people are starting a revelation rather. My words are, still going through the COVID, but so forgive me, man. But it's a revelation really about what 112 really meant to the music industry, man. Because back when we started, everything was underneath the Bad Boy umbrella. So right. You really didn't get an opportunity to really delve into the individual group or the individual act. You just seen the umbrella, which was Bad Boy, and you just assumed that we all moved in a different direction. I mean, the same direction, and that wasn't the case, man. 112 was self-sufficient. 112 really didn't need a whole lot, as far as outside production and things of this nature. But we told the company line, and we did what we were told. But for the most part, we were really self-sufficient, and we really could have done it, ourselves. So with that being said, we created, this sound along with Puff, to just that's something that was going to last the test of time. But for those that did not know and didn't realize, a lot of those background vocals were me, you know what I mean? And Q played an integral part in it as well. But right. The majority of those background vocals was me. You know what I'm saying?
And arranging, yes. It's time to speak about that, yes.
And the arrangement, the vocal arrangement, and how we did oohs and ahs and things of this nature. I've studied it, you know what I mean, and music theory and things of this nature, man. I studied it for years, man. So I knew what it was to create, to help create this sound. Of course, we were all, very important in creating the sound. But if you want to go down to the specifics of it, the specificity of it, it was me doing those background vocals and Slim doing the leads. So they messed around and got the wrong two or the right two, depending on, you know, who you ask or whatever, to do this EP, because you're still going to get the 112 sound, which is, you know,
Right.
which was important and paramount to us. If we were going to do this project, we were going to do it the right way, and we were going to remind people that the 112 sound, 112 does have a sound, and we were going to, you know, respect that, and we were going to, you know, make sure that the world remembered just how dope 112 really is, man. So that was, you know, and we wanted to make sure that people realize of this rebranding of 112, that you were still going to get that sound, man, and you weren't going to miss anything. You weren't going to miss anything. And like I was saying off camera, man, like, people have got to figure out what it is they really want when it comes to 112. Is it that you're a fan of the individuals that was in 112, or you a fan of the brand of 112? Because if you're a fan of the brand, it doesn't matter who's in the group, as long as we maintain the same sound that you're familiar with, and you know, and that you bought and loved from us for 24 years, then it shouldn't matter who's in the group. You know what I mean? As long as we're giving you what it is, you know what I mean? So of course you got your people, you know, some, we're not dumb, but of course we know that there's some people, you know, who grew up with us and they loved us, and, you know, they were had their favorite, you know what I'm saying, and they had their secret crushes, or, you know, that you know, the ones that they absolutely love. But at its core, our belief is that if you truly love the brand of 112, then it shouldn't matter, you know, if it's 2 members or it's 4 members, as long as we're giving you the same sound that, you know, you love. And, you know, we hope, it is our hope that our fan base, the ones that truly love and know Slim and myself and love 112, will at least grant us the opportunity to show y'all through our music that you ain't missing anything. You know what I mean? So that's the goal that we have now. That's what the whole rebranding, the why we call the album 112 Slim and Mike, because we wanted people to understand, like, we're not running from the fact that it's only 2 members. You know what I'm saying? Those 2 dudes decided to make a move. They decided to leave. God go with them. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to keep going, and we were going to not allow them leaving to, you know, take away from our fan base. You know, the people that are still ride or dies, the people that's been rocking with us for 24 years, the ones that still wanted music from us, we're going to give it to you. You know what I mean? And so that's what, you know, that's what this whole, you know, that's what the whole thing is about right now, man. It's just, you know, once again, we're having to rebrand ourselves and prove ourselves over again. But with the advent of Verses and putting this new EP out, man, it allowed us, like Slim said, to introduce ourselves to a whole new fan base. So, you know, we've got an injection of youth and you know, just these new fans into the 112 machine now, man. So it's a great time right now to be 112.
Exactly. No, and that is so amazing, because people have to really tap into what this is now and get familiar, because it's not, they should be familiar. They should be familiar.
Should be.
They should. As to why they're acting like they're not, it's very weird. So before we wrap up, let's talk about the brand new single that I was also talking about as well, for the next single in that video as well.
Okay. Yep. Slim, you want to take it, or?
Okay, no, you got it.
Okay. Well, For Us is the next single, and we've been giving out little snippets and little video clips of, you know, on our Instagram pages about the new single. And basically the whole premise behind this record, it's the storyline is twofold. You know, of course we could have, when we started writing with Ty Smartmouth and Great Scott, initially we wanted to know, we were thinking about just making this song about a relationship between you and your significant other, right? But then we listened to the record more, and we started realizing that the song could go in a different direction. And I felt like it was time for us to do that, because we have been speaking out on a lot of the social issues that are going on right now: inequality, injustice, you know, police brutality, things of this nature. We've been very vocal on, but we felt like our contribution would be best served if we went ahead and did a song, which is what, you know, the world knows us for, whatever. So with this For Us record, instead of us taking the normal route of singing about a relationship between us and a significant other, we made it a more, you know, macro a macro level kind of, situation. And we wanted to involve everybody that, was willing to be involved in what we were talking about. So the Black Lives Matter movement is something that's been near and dear to Slim in my heart, because we do believe in justice for all. We do believe in equality. We do believe in getting rid of police brutality and basically singling out African American with a focus on the African American male. When it comes to certain things and profiling us and things of this nature. And so, because we got sons, and the last thing that either one of us would want to do is have to go pick our sons up from a jail or pick him out from a lineup or Lord forbid pick him up from a morgue. So our mind frame is we need to put out some music that and our that we can contribute to, in order for people to understand that 112 is conscientious of what's going on. We are conscious of what's going on, and we're not shying away from speaking about these social injustices that are going on right now. So for us, it's a beautiful record. Slim. It delivers like he always does. The track it's a old school but new school kind of vibe that we knew that once we heard the beat, we knew that we was gonna win with this record because it reminds people of the good old Bad Boy days. You know what I mean? And we wanted to make sure that visually we had the same thing going on as well. So that's why you get that flavor in your ear kind of vibe with the visuals and also with the track. And big shout out to Craig Mack or whatever. So that was the whole goal behind that, man. We wanted to make sure that the visuals were on par with the song because we feel like the song is just as strong as the visuals. The visuals are just as strong as the song. Now, I love Spend It All. That's a great setup record. That's a great start the EP record. But this for us, we believe in our camp that it has the potential to go above and beyond. So we're really excited about this record, and we're really excited about the fan base listening to it.
Yeah, and I'm just so glad that this project is coming out. So it comes out at the end of the month, the 28th, right?
Yes, sir. It comes out on the 28th. The new single comes out. The For Us comes out August 21st, and the new album comes out August 28th.
That's amazing. And one thing I also wanted to talk about was the touring aspect. I love the fact that y'all keep this nostalgicness there and just adding the two dancers. I love it. I know you guys get crap for it, but just keeping the performances there and just that whole excitement. It's just like, if you were a fan of the 90s, you would feel that energy in the room and its present. And y'all have done amazing with the touring since the beginning of the last decade. So I like the fact that y'all do that.
So we appreciate that, man, because that was ultimately the goal that we wanted to convey when we perform. Like, again, we didn't want the world to think that we were adding new members. Like we spoke of we spoke off camera before about how initially once those two dudes left, we initially thought about adding two new vocal members into the group, but we felt like that would have been too much of a shock into the system for the fan base. So while we haven't closed the door on that completely, we just felt like for the time being in the initial rebranding of 112, we wanted to make sure that people understood that we are sensitive to what they're sensitive to as well, and we just wanted to keep it Slim and myself because this is 112, man. And, so we got the two dancers, Dooney and Dre, and like we said, because a lot of people thought that they were the two new members of the group, and we kept telling people like not one time. If you go on the YouTube and look at our shows for the past 2 years, did you see a microphone in these dudes' hand? Do you see them trying to sing or anything? They are dancers, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like they're our little brothers, and and they do a lot of other things outside or behind the scenes, with choreography and videography and things of that nature. But for the most part, they are here to be dancers. 112 is there to be 112. So, that was important for us because we knew that our fan base, like I said, was a little sensitive to that. And like we said, we had ideas about adding two new members into the group, man, but we wanted to, like I said, we didn't close the door on that. But for this project and, future projects, for the time being, we wanted to make sure that it was just Slim and myself, maintaining that 112 sound because, that was important to us.
Exactly. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for like this interview and being able to catch up with y'all, because I'm looking forward to the project. Just the new music being out finally, I was just like jumping for joy. I was like, yes, 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 yes.
We are too, bro.
112 alive forever.
You're on 12
Yes.
forever, man. Make sure y'all follow us on the official 112 on Instagram, and if you please get your subscribers to subscribe to our page on YouTube. It's 112 Rebirth TV, and if you could like and subscribe, that it will help us out tremendously. You can get all our information, all the videos, all the documentaries, all the interviews, anything that you want. 112 Rebirth TV on YouTube. Follow us on the official 112 on Instagram, and 112 forever, bro.
That's right.